Hey everybody, Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden and Fruit Trees just arrived at the farm. Today I wanted to take a minute and kind of talk to you about peaches in particular, because peaches I think are one of those fruit trees that you really got to pay attention to, and if you don't, they just don't work out very well for a home gardener. And there's some things that are kind of crazy that you need to do with peaches. So I wanted to walk you through it kind of step by step, just because when I tell you sometimes in person, you go, whoa, trust me, this is what you want to do with peaches, okay? When you're looking for peach trees, one of the first things you want to look for is, I pull it out of the bin, or I'm looking in the bin here. This is bare root. Bare root is, now is the time to plant bare root. It's an excellent time to get them going. It's a great way to get a fruit tree at a low price. I'm always checking the stalk to make sure there's no blemishes or bad spots on the stalk. This one looks pretty good. It looks nice and healthy, but one of the things that's kind of counterintuitive with peaches is that you don't want to have a center to the peach tree. So let me show you what I mean. Peaches, when they're growing and you have fruit in the summertime, peaches are really heavy on a tree. So you do not want the tree to be too big, because if the tree is too big and you have too many peaches, the limbs break. Also, like I was saying earlier about the center of the tree, you want to be open, because you want that light to get in to where the peaches are at on the peach tree. And if the center's there, you can't do that. And it sounds kind of crazy, but we're gonna take most of the top and middle out of this peach tree. So I'm gonna take the main center one out. This one's actually got a couple coming out through here. I'm also going to take out the other one. And it seems kind of crazy. Jessica behind the camera is kind of like shrieking back in horror right now. But the idea is, you can't have it too big. There's not a lot of rootstock on here for the bottom of the tree for it to support everything. And that center is just gonna go straight up. You're gonna have peaches on the top and it's gonna break the branches and it's gonna be no good. So I know it looks kind of crazy. I just cut a whole bunch off of this, but it's for its own good. And the other thing that's important with peaches to remember is that peaches will often get fungus on the leaves. A lot of times you'll see it like curling, and when you get leaf curl on your leaves, that's done. Like, the peaches generally have a very hard time coming out of it. And while there's not a lot going on right now, every year in spring, just before the buds start to break, you want to take a nice copper sulfate spray. It's completely organic, it's just sulfur. There's no like synthetic chemicals or anything in this. And I like to use this, it's ready to spray. It just hooks onto the end of the hose, takes 30 seconds, spray it down, and it's ready to go. But that's really gonna help keep the fungus off the foliage. That's how you do a bare root peach tree, but let's take a look at some of the others we have in stock. All right, this is a completely different type of peach tree. This is the first time that I've had these available at the farm. In fact, I'm going to buy one of these because I love these. These are dwarf peach trees, very hard to find, and they are one of the most beautiful flowering plants you can have in your garden. This is, as you can see, it doesn't grow very much. This plant is probably 6-7 years old and it's only maybe 2 feet tall. The blossoms on this are gigantic. They're huge, they're beautiful, bright pink flowers. In the springtime, this is just getting ready to explode. And have this on your back patio, like flowering alone, this would be a great plant to have. You can plant it in a container, you can plant it in the ground. The other thing that's really cool about these peaches is they're self-fertile. You don't need another plant to pollinate it with. This will produce peaches right in your backyard, and unlike the other peach trees that are growing up those long centers and you're cutting them open, these will never get very big, they'll never have a lot of foliage, so you don't have to worry about trimming them like you do with the other peach trees. But they can still get the fungus. So it's very important to treat these with the copper sulfate. Right now is the time of the year to do that. And that'll keep it from getting that leaf curl, and it'll have wonderful peaches this summer. And this one's coming home with me. So hurry into the farm, because I don't have very many of these. I think we only have like 12 or 15 of them in stock right now. We have quite a few of the other peaches, but these dwarf peaches, they are not gonna last very long. So head on into the farm. Now is the time to get these planted, and before long, they are gonna be blooming and beautiful.